As an e-merchant, you understand the challenges of accepting online payments and therefore see the need for an innovative payment management platform. Exopay is compatible with any business vertical, so whether your customers are buying a new hat, ordering takeout, signing up for car insurance, or subscribing to a digital service, we can process your payments. Our intuitive platform uses geolocation to determine the most appropriate payment methods to offer and what language your payments page should be in. So, if your potential consumer is in France, Brazil, or Korea, the payment page will automatically shift to their individual needs. And as soon as they hit that Buy Now button, our smart transaction routing engine sends the payment to the best acquiring processor, based on geolocation, risk assessment, and platform-specific data. In fact, you, the merchant, can decide where you send the transactions by customizing your own set of rules. Now let's have a look behind the scenes. The Exopay platform is designed to give you a complete and personalized overview of your data. Here on the transactions list, we can see the purchase of a hat that was just made. In this table, you can see every transaction. The view you see here is customizable. You can pick and choose the data you want to see at a glance. Every individual who has access can personalize their view. Now, let's click on that hat purchase we just saw. Here we have a complete overview of the transaction. With the Exopay fee engine, you can set up fees which are linked directly to payment providers. This means that as soon as a transaction is processed, you will see exactly how much money you should receive once all fees have been deducted. This will come in handy later. On the right-hand side of the screen, there are a selection of topics. Let's look at risk check summary and find out what the transaction's individual risk score is. Here you can see all the rules that have been put in place and what score the transaction achieved for each of them. The last column shows the cumulative score and at the bottom its final result. But what rules can you create? There are currently over 40 rules that users can apply to a transaction. These rules are based on things such as the value of the transaction, the IP address, whether the card is used by multiple people, and so on. The sum of these rules creates the scored card, which is then used to determine whether the payments will be authorized, declined, or sent for manual review. The risk engine was designed to give merchants the flexibility they need to protect their revenue stream. As mentioned before, a key component of payment orchestration is smart routing. Having the ability to send transactions to different payment providers based on a set of rules allows businesses to increase their conversion rates and avoid declined transactions. For example, you can choose to send all card payments from Sweden to one provider and then all card payments from Spain to another. This ensures that you are getting the best rates, as the general rule is the further away geographically the payment method is from the acquirer, the more expensive it will be to process. Now that we have seen an individual transaction and how it can be routed, let's look at the overview on the dynamic dashboard. Like all of Exopay's features, the dashboard is fully customizable. You want to see a specific date range? No problem. Let's have a look at all the transactions that took place in the last 6 months. Want to see the percentage of transactions done via payment method? Sure, here it is. The Exopay team is constantly creating new widgets, and if you can't find exactly what you're looking for, they are able to create it for you. Users are able to create multiple dashboards and have the ability to share them with their colleagues. Now that we have seen the overview, let's take a look at the reporting functionalities. With Exopay, you can also create pivot tables. These summarize, sort, reorganize, group, count, total, or average the data stored on the platform. Simply drag and drop the data types that you want to include. It really is that easy. Remember that hat purchase we looked at earlier? We could see the exact figure that the merchant should receive for the transaction. Now, let's take a look at provider settlements to see if they match up. Here you can see the fetch settlement data from PSPs and acquirers and check to make sure there are no conflicts. Users are alerted when there is an issue, like we can see here. There is a mismatch between what the merchant should have received and what they actually received. Now they can simply approach the provider and notify them of the error. We have only had a look at the basic functionalities of the platform. Here is the feature overview, and as you can see, there is much more to explore, from card vaulting to third-party risk checks. Exopay is an independent technology provider connected to over 100 different payment providers and offering more than 200 payment methods all over the world. Visit ixopay.com to learn more.